what are the minimum ad spends on Facebook and Google to get results? This is, this is one of those things where it's really hard to answer because there's a lot of variables. So we've talked a lot again about ads and the competition you have. If you have competition that's buying ads, that's going to cause the cost of those ads to go up and the cost to get similar performance to go up. If you're in a market where maybe nobody's running ads in the same category that you are, you might be able to get away for far less money and still get results. So that being said, when I talk to any clients that we start to work with, typically I say to them that it's not even worth running AdWords. Even if you're in a low competition marketplace, it's not worth running AdWords if you don't have at least $10 a day to spend. And that is like the minimum. So let's just call it $300 a month to spend on just the Google ads part of the budget. That is, consider that a bare minimum. We have clients that are spending, actually we have clients that are spending upwards of $20,000 a month in Google AdWords. We have clients that are spending $3,000 to $4,000 a month in AdWords. And we do have clients that are spending $300 to $500 a month in AdWords. Depending on the market that you're in and the competition level within that market, you can achieve results. Now, here's the thing. If you don't have a lot of budget, you really want to get hyper targeted on what you're trying to do with regard to who you're trying to reach. You don't want to reach anybody that's not in your very focused market. So if you do have a tight budget, you're like, I really need to make these ads work. I need every dollar to go towards a very productive result. You want to get really targeted on who you're showing those ads to, whether that's on Google or whether that's on Meta. The more targeted you could get, the more you can make sure every dollar is going where it counts the most. If you have more budget, you can expand that net and you can start reaching out. Now, there may be a lot of people in that expanded net that are good potential prospects for customers, but you may be also reaching a lot of people that aren't great prospects. So, but if you have more budget, you can afford to have a couple misses in there in an effort to reach the larger scope. So if you have a smaller budget, I think it's more important to be more targeted and make sure you're just reaching the people that are really important. On Meta, I always say to people, depending on what you're trying to accomplish, bare minimum $5 to $8 a day would be like a minimum if you're just trying to do some branding things and get in front of people. So $150 to $200 a month there. Obviously, if you could spend $10 or more or $10 or more a day, $150 to $10 a day would be $300 a month. That's going to be better. It depends on what objective you're trying to reach. And again, same rules apply here that I just said to Google. You want to be very targeted with who you're trying to reach. You don't have enough budget to be really broad on your audience because you're going to run out of budget too fast. And you might be spending half your budget to reach people that aren't really good targets. So you got to really be targeted if you have a limited budget. As your budget increases, you can afford to sort of take a gamble on a bigger audience, a broader audience in an effort to reach more people because you have a little bit more leeway. But when you're dealing with the bare minimums, you have to be much more targeted. So from that, I would say, you're looking at probably $10 a day for each one would be an absolute minimum, like a baseline. So let's talk about $300 for each one. We have some clients that are playing around with doing some branding things for less than $10 a day. And again, if you're running reach ads, you can do branding. It's kind of like a billboard. You're just trying to get in front of a lot of people. You can do that for less than $10 a day. But if you're looking to convert, if you're looking to get people to click through to your website, things like that, I would say look at $10 a day for each one of those platforms is kind of a bare bones minimum. And as your budget allows, I would even increase from there, making sure that you're continuing to make your ads targeted, but you might be able to expand that scope a little bit.